hope you were shaking it like we were to that song. Well, maybe because we were dangerously shaking it. That's why we have earthquakes in California.
Because of the amount we shake it?
Yeah. Okay, never mind. Maybe it's just me. Sometimes I feel like when I shake it, like, here's the question I have real quick. Sometimes, like, when I'm on an airplane, I'm like, if I, like, start violently dancing on here, is it going to impact the flight?
No. I think your issue is if you're violently dancing on a plane. Like, why use that term violent?
I mean...
What does that even mean compared to, like, other types of dance?
Anyway, this is
I
something
feel like it's a
about.
Chuck Norris quote, like,
Ooh.
I violently dance and the world trembles.
Yeah, I feel like Chuck Norris, I guess.
What happened to him? Does anyone know? Is this like a Seal's face question?
That could be another episode. What happened to Chuck Norris? He is very, like...
Where is he now?
I don't know. I don't... Anyway, avoiding politics here. So welcome to episode 4.
Woohoo!
We've made it past the threshold of 3. I feel like every episode I should be like, we made it past the episode number blank. We're doing well.
Guys, it's been another week and I'm still alive.
Life wins.
Yeah, I was thinking about the other day. I was like, what if I did a podcast where I just, like, check in every day with people?
That's the entire podcast?
It's like, listen, I made it through the day. It was a crappy day, but I made it through the day. I hope you guys have a good night. Peace out. And they're like, oh, phew, that was the best podcast. She made it.
So it's like the shortest podcast ever.
Yeah.
It's like the Yang Yang Twins whisper song, but shortest podcast.
How does that song go?
Hey, little mama, let me whisper in your ear.
Okay, I can't hear anything. Ashley is still whispering at the distance from her mic, like I can't even hear sitting across me. I just saw your lips moving. It looked like you were speaking like parcel tongue from Harry Potter.
I was.
So anyway, what's new in your life? What's going on, guys? We just had Labor Day last Monday. What else is happening? Summer is like almost over now. College football started back up again. I don't know if you guys care about that.
I don't do that.
I don't. I went to a school that didn't really have college football. Well, no, it did originally. I went to SF State.
Did you go to Hogwarts?
No. I went to SF State, but OJ also went to SF State and like played football there, and then they like completely just eradicated the entire athletics department.
Did he wear gloves while playing?
Didn't fit. Laces were out. Sorry.
So what's new with you guys?
I had a really adventurous weekend at Lowe's buying a new dishwasher.
Did you get the really kind that the phone can like start it like from your seat? You can be like, oh, I'm too lazy to start the dishwasher. Go.
We wanted to, but they're like sold out. So we got the cheaper version on Labor Day sale. Whoop whoop.
Is there like a clapper version? Where you can like just go.
Except and you can clap with any part of your body with your like feet.
I mean, if you're really violently shaking it.
I'm violently clapping with my feet.
There's plenty of songs where you're clapping.
But it was really weird while I was there because we were getting all this other stuff. Somehow we spent about like 2+ hours at Lowe's. And this guy brings out this PVC pipe that's like clearly 12 feet long. And he tells this other guy, and he tells this guy, get a hacksaw. And I'm like, what the heck? You're a sociopath. This guy comes back with his hacksaw and just cuts off maybe like 3.5 inches of the PVC pipe and then puts the rest of the pipe back.
Are you sure this wasn't my dad?
No, because your dad's probably not a monster like this guy. He literally was stealing. He had his guy go to his truck to get his hacksaw just to get a small piece of PVC pipe.
So there's a PVC pipe in Lowe's somewhere that's it's like smaller than 12 feet long.
Yeah.
It's 3.5 inches smaller than 12 feet long.
Butterfly effect. I felt the need. I didn't even know what was happening because this guy, I thought, some people bring like pipe cutters and stuff like that. They do it in the store because it's easier. Yep. But it was so wrong. They just did it and they're like, I don't care. And then I went to a store person and I was like, this happened. Because I was like, I must tell people justice.
You narc.
I know, I'm such a narc.
I feel like it's one of those TV show episodes where it's split screens of like what your day would have been like had you not talked to this store clerk and what it would have been like if you had.
Well, I thought about confronting the guy, but then I was like, he has an open hacksaw. So
an confrontation. An open carry hacksaw.
He straight up, because then I went to the tool section and none of the hacksaws were open. So he clearly just like straight up carried a hacksaw into the store. No one noticed.
open carry hacksaw. Is that like a law we have to have in California?
I mean, maybe it should be.
So Stephanie, what's new with you?
I mean, I don't have anything as exciting as a hacksaw to a PVC pipe. No, so I was mentioning earlier that I'm about to get a very, very massive tattoo on both of my legs.
Of each of our faces, right?
Of each of your faces.
And one of you out there, if you're a lucky winner.
Listener episode.
Oh my God. That would be, no, absolutely
That's
not.
commitment, Stephanie.
That is commitment.
How committed are you to the pod?
My commitment to sparkle motion.
After we'll dance into the moon after we cut our hands open.
What?
Why are we making blood sacrifices? Oh my gosh. No, but it's been a very like interesting journey because when it comes to tattooing, there's a lot of judgments from tattoo artists because people are basic and terrible and all want the exact same tattoo, and it just pisses off the artist. So to find one that essentially chooses you instead of choosing them is a very interesting experience in the San Francisco Bay Area. So I found one and I'm really excited. And it's going to be like a really crazy process.
It's like the difference between picking up a stick off the ground and going to Ollivanders and having the wand choose you.
I like this Harry Potter theme today.
I know. There's so much Harry Potter.
Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah, I agree. So let me tell you guys a couple of really quick embarrassing stories that happened to me at work this week. And they happened within like an hour of each other, and I was so embarrassed. So there's this person in our department, and so quick background. I really like calling people by their initials because I just love it. So like I'm PB, so everyone's like, "What up, PB?" And I've just kind of loved that throughout my life. And so I always want to call people by their initials and be like, it's kind of like a term of endearment. Like, hey, I'm reaching out to you. I want to be friends with you. Let me call you by your initials. But this person's initials are AB. So I was walking in our cafeteria, and I go, "What up, AB?" And the person who's with me turned to me and goes, "Did you just call him baby?"
Oh, no.
And I was like, "Oh, I really hope that's not thought of that way." I was like, I was saying AB, and she goes, "Okay, thank goodness, because it sounded like you that said baby." So then we were walking around the building, and then he messaged her on Slack and goes, "Did Patricia just call me baby?" I was like, "Oh, shoot." So we had to clear that up, that I was not sexually harassing somebody in our department.
Or you call everyone baby.
What up,
I mean,
baby?
that's your
You
brand
just gotta
now.
do a full pendulum shift.
Swift. I like
Get
that.
swifty.
Shift of just calling every single person baby. So that
I'd
nobody
get
feels
so
like
many
you're...
complaints to HR. So
Then you just got to start tapping everyone's ass at the same time, too.
I mean,
Whoa.
I mean, hey, baby.
hey, baby, slap,
Slap on the
Oh, I'm
butt.
sure HR would love that. They'd get to know me anyway. The second thing happened as we were heading back up to the elevator, and at our building, we're in a new building, and our building has like these smart elevators. So instead of just saying like I want to go up or down, you put in the floor that you want to go to. The problem with that is like sometimes I don't pay attention to what I'm typing, and I meant to put floor 6, and instead of pressing 6, I accidentally pressed 6-9. And there are people all in the elevator area waiting for an elevator and saw me type in floor 69, and then the elevator thing goes 69 question mark? And I was like, crap.
Yes.
Our building goes to floor 12, and then everybody saw me try to like put in 69 at work, which is super embarrassing. Anyway,
That's not the worst thing.
it's not calling someone baby, then hitting floor 69. I mean,
I guess if you were looking at the person you called baby while putting in 69, that would have been
And not blinking.
just no blinking
a
whatsoever.
stare down. Let me just say though, it was so embarrassing to have both those things happen within the same like hour.
It's your moment.
It is. Anyway, so just quick heads up. Thank you guys who are listening to this. It's been really fun for us so far to do this podcast, and really hope you guys are enjoying it. Quick note, if you guys want to, we also have the podcast now, I believe, on Stitcher, in Google, and Spotify. We've been putting them on YouTube. So if you aren't pleased with the place that you're going to get your podcast listening on, we are now available on tons of places. So feel free to venture out a little bit. Still, too, we have an email address, hello@WTFAQpodcast.com. Feel free to reach out to us if you guys have any questions you want us to tackle in our episodes. we will be doing some episodes where we answer some questions that you guys have. We have a few questions already submitted, so if you guys want to, I think we have like 2 more episodes that we'll do after this one, then we might do a listener episode. So get your questions in.
I didn't even know we had an email address. Although I feel like it's going to be packed with people trying to get me to make retractions of things I've said in previous episodes.
No, they'll probably want to see your tattoo.
That too. But no, I do have one retraction that I need to make, and I was telling Patricia and Ashley about it. So no, in episode 2, I was talking about our last Google search, and I said Drag Lucy and Love Guru. It was Drag Lucy in Rat Race. I just want to make that very clear for the people who are super passionate about Rat Race and or the Love Guru.
Which are 4 people.
Rude. Those movies are great.
It keeps on coming up on my Amazon Prime now. Everything's listening.
Everything is listening.
It is. That should be another question for us. But I do have to say, we've been getting a lot of listeners from around the world. More countries than I expected. Well, mainly just the U.S. and Canada. But
will we get more listeners if we maybe post what we look like? Or will that just ruin everything?
I think we'll get negative.
Negative? I'll be like, oh no.
I think what if we did like mosaics of our faces out of like
so like serial killer magazine cutouts of our faces.
This person has eyes like me. I mean, at least they're open. They look like me.
Why would they be closed?
Have you ever seen a magazine ad with closed eyes?
I think I've seen winking.
Have you now? Did you cut it out? Because we could say
I don't know what that was. Stephanie's winking?
We'll get photos of us on
more
there
just
soon.
twitches.
We'll figure out how to Photoshop edit photos enough of us so they look normal.
No, I disagree. I disagree with any sort of filtering.
What if we put our faces into like a baby manipulator machine and it shows what our babies would look like together?
If the 3 of us had a baby,
yes,
I love that. Yes,
that's our first album cover of our holiday album.
We'll do that. We'll put it on Instagram.
We'll just recreate Nirvana's album with a baby of our like horrible Frankenstein creation.
I can't wait. Okay, let's get into the first question. I'm actually doing the first question today. Patricia's up first. I know, they're like, we need to rotate this so you don't feel like the last kid on the block to play in
so
Red
you got
Rover.
picked for kickball?
Aww, bad memories.
Oh,
actually,
no.
kickball, I was like picked first from the girls. I was pick first. So I played soccer and I had like massive thunder legs when I was a kid. That was like, I could like strike a ball and they'd be like, whoa, it went out of the park.
Stop trying to take my housewife tagline. My thighs will choke you. That was from episode 3. If you haven't listened to it, listen to it. It's pretty
Pause what you're doing. Go listen to episode 3 and come back. What a funny joke. Okay. All right. So my first question of the day, well, my only question of the day, but my first question for you guys is, I want to hear your plan of attack should you win a shopping spree. 2 minutes of a shopping spree, but the kick is it's in a dollar store where everything costs $1. You have 2 minutes in a dollar store to take whatever you wanted. What would you do?
You want me to take it?
Yeah, you go first.
Okay. I have questions before I begin.
Okay.
Is this everything I can carry? Is this everything that can fit into a basket? Is this everything that can fit
so the
into a
stipulation
cart?
is you have to have it in a box in the front of the store. It has to be in the box before the time's up.
But do I have to carry, run to the box, go back, carry, run to the box? Like, what can I hold it in before I get to the box?
At the end of 2 minutes, there's a box in the front of the store, and whatever's in the box is yours.
Okay, then I'm going to go with the assumption that I have a cart.
Oh, do what you want. Do as you please.
All right, I have a cart. So before the timer goes off, I'm hoping it's one of those more advanced dollar stores that tells me what's in each aisle.
Advanced? What kind of world are we living in?
I know. But if I did not have that, I'm going to just probably start running and look for the aisle with the like Jesus candles.
You like Jesus candles?
Why would you get
because
Jesus candles?
I feel like that gets, I don't know, more bang for my buck, I guess.
For resale value?
Yes,
wax?
potentially. Because I don't want to go to like the misshapen toy aisle or the like expired canned food aisle. Like I'm gonna go for the Jesus candle aisle, and I'm gonna have the cart. I'm gonna have it next to it, and I'm just gonna have arm out.
Okay.
And just run and grab and throw everything in there. As much as can fit into the cart without falling over and run to the front of the store. I mean, when it comes to the dollar store, there's only so many things like beyond the Jesus candles and maybe the organizational stuff, there's not really much else you want to get there, right? Like, you don't want to get your cosmetics there. You don't want to get your food there.
Oh, okay. Okay.
At least in my mind.
So you'd get all the Jesus candles into your cart, put them in the box in front of the store, and you'd be done?
Potentially.
2
Okay.
minutes is not
So,
that
I mean,
long.
that's, to me, I think I would have won, granted that they all didn't shatter.
Right.
Which they likely would.
No. That ruins my whole strategy.
And now you have
You
a
need to-
zillion years of bad luck.
Just get some of those like towels
Wait,
and
no,
pillows
that's
to the
not
bottom.
one of them.
Oh, yeah.
But those towels come apart so easily. It's
I mean,
almost
you're
like
not gonna keep them.
before even winning this, it would have been like I've already lost.
You just go grab like a handful of those washcloths and like rip them open and wrap each one real quickly. And like take a washcloth, grab one, washcloth, grab one. So you're like,
That's a waste of time.
listen. If you're only going for Jesus candles in your 2-minute shopping spree, then you probably have enough time to do something close enough to get like at least 25 candles in there.
I suppose I don't know. I mean, what else? Like,
How much could you resell a Jesus candle for?
I think
Like,
Is
what's
there
your
another name for
profit in
this
this
too?
situation?
what is the profit? I feel like maybe. Ooh, okay. Question.
Yeah.
Well, no, I guess this doesn't really matter of when this spree is when it comes to certain holidays coming up.
Well, hopefully, if people are religious with Jesus, it's all the time.
I only want my Jesus
Right?
candle.
I mean, I'm not
for
a religious
May.
person, but
Neither am
I would assume
but
so.
I don't know. I
Here's the
feel
thing,
like
though.
I could mark them up, being that we're not super close to any dollar stores. And if
$1.15.
I even exactly, even if I just want $1.50.
So here's the thing, though. This is like the best promotion the dollar store can do because really, how much could they lose in 2 minutes? A couple $100 at most,
But
right?
how much money are they making in general, though?
I
That's
mean-
the question, right? Because it's like they lose a couple $100, but let's say they don't make that much money during the day anyways.
Yeah, I think that's the reason why I only see dollar stores like in neighborhoods that have cheaper rent, right? Because they can actually afford
Mm-hmm.
to pay for the rent there. And like retail, you don't make much money off of those things anyway. But I still think it's a real cheap investment. It could be like, whoever's like the X number shopper for today gets a $2 or 2-minute shopping spree in the dollar store. I think that's kind of cool.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
All right, Ashley, what's your
all
plan of
right.
attack?
So I was thinking, what would I want at a dollar store?
Mhm.
And then I thought about times that are gone. And I think it depends on what you want to do. Like, Steph, you want to resell Jesus candles. That's your thing. That's your brand. Cool.
My new startup.
That's your new startup.
Tell me about your startup.
I think for me, I would definitely hit up the arts and crafts lane, and then donate all the supplies to the school.
Well, aren't you a saint?
I know. Way to make me feel like
No.
shit. Where I'm trying to profit.
When you're trying to profit off of Jesus candles, that's a whole different thing we need to unpack from a Jewish woman. Let's put that out there. But
I mean, I feel like it completely fits.
yeah, that's fair. That's fair. No, but I think a lot of schools have shut down art programs, and so a lot of kids have like missed that. And I'm really into art, whether it like mostly it's just like physical arts and crafts. So I think that could be really cool for young kids.
Fair. Man, you.
As long as they're
It's
not
like-
completely all defective and you've just given them
It's
a
just
bunch
like-
of really bad.
Just a bunch of taped up flesh colored
Seriously.
Crayola.
it's like coloring books, but they're all like misshapen, like terrifying mystical creatures.
I feel like Patricia's gonna be like, I would get 10 gallons of gum forever.
I mean, that's not a bad idea, actually. How long does gum last?
Does it go bad?
Yes, because I got some gum. I was cleaning out my cabinet the other day, and I had some gum in there from 2015, and it was like, I did not want to chew it. It was pretty gross.
Oh no, go ahead.
I mean, I was going to ask about the full assessment and evaluation of the gum that came to the conclusion of, it's 4 years old, maybe, but there was
Well, it
something
was-
very specific showing on it that made you
It was
not
like
do
Trident, and you can kind of like see how like it started to like bleed into the wrapper a
Oh.
little bit, and you're like, I'm not gonna chew this.
But if it's bleeding, does that mean that it doesn't taste good or that tastes stale?
It means that it was once alive.
Fair.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Anyway,
What would
Stephanie's giving me the worst look ever right now.
It's very early to talk about how gum used to once be alive.
Well, most gums are made out of plastics now, right?
Oh, no.
Oh,
Yeah.
let's not get too morbid with this.
Okay,
just saying, I used to
moving
swallow
on, moving
gum.
on.
You used to swallow gum?
Yeah,
on
my
purpose?
favorite flavor was grape flavored gum. And I was like, oh, it's so delicious. I'm gonna swallow it.
And Ashley's mom's like, here, just eat some grapes.
I know. She was like,
Don't eat this gum.
the future is not as bright for some than others.
I had a teacher in high school, my junior year, and she was like so adamant that if anybody was chewing watermelon gum, that she would kick them out of the classroom. So she's like, do not chew watermelon gum in my classroom. So
Why did she talk like that?
She was this very sweet lady, but she would sit behind her desk while we were like reading with her elbows on the desk and her arms kind of like praising the sky, but then she'd like curl her fingers in like this, like she was squeezing a squeeze toy, and just like have this grimacing look on her face. And her name was Betty. I don't know.
Perfect.
Betty.
She was really sweet though. Like I really liked her. And there's another teacher, that was our teacher our senior year, but this teacher in comparison was like sunshine, right? She was like the happiest teacher, very, very fun to be around. We really enjoyed her. But Betty did not like this teacher. So when this teacher came into the classroom and be like, you're going to be seniors next year. Let's get you excited about it. As soon as she left, Betty sat down at her desk and was like, she just stole all my energy. It was quite wonderful to be in both those classrooms. But
I think I like Betty.
She sounds like Miss Trunchbull.
Betty was pretty great. No, but we liked it. So the thing is, like, you don't tell juniors in high school not to do something like that, because once a week someone would just pop in a piece of watermelon gum and she'd be like, I can smell it.
Like, don't push the big red button.
Who's got the watermelon gum? Like, yeah, why would
Stephanie
she tell us
brings in
that?
her own red button. It's like,
I'm not going to tell you what it does. I'm just going to say don't push it. See what happens.
Okay, so let me tell you my plan of attack, because I did win a shopping spree when I was a kid, but it was for like 2 minutes, and it was in a grocery store.
That's
So,
awesome.
it was
That's
cool.
way better
You
than the
like-
dollar store.
Yeah, and I didn't like win the big shopping spree. I think I won like a little tiny section of something. It wasn't like big compared to like this one kid who won like the 5-minute shopping spree, and I was like, dude, just go straight to the video section, get all the Disney videos. Like they're just like, oh, I want to get some cereal. I'm like, F you, kid, you're wasting it. So since then, I've always kind of planned like how I'd approach this. But I was like, dollar store though. What do I ever get at a dollar store? It's usually like chargers for my phone if I need that, like I'm in a hurry or whatever. They're really crappy. They last for like a day. But hey, if they're free, I'll grab like all the chargers for my phone. Maybe some more like silverware or some mugs. I've got some mugs, but then I'm also realized I have tons of mugs in my cabinets and I don't know how to get rid of all of them. But then also, 10 gallons of gum.
no way.
Well, also, like, they have, like, Slim, or what are they called? Beef jerky? Slim
Jims.
Slim Jims, yeah.
I love Slim Jims.
But they have tons of those. Just grab all those things, throw in your cart. I mean, I would even grab a cash register.
Oh, that's just straight up stealing.
No, they're like, just take whatever, and you're like, if you can take whatever, just, like, throw a cash register.
Can I
pretty
just,
smart.
take the keys from the manager? Like, this is my store now.
I'm the captain now. That's a smart
She
way to do
takes
it.
the charity bowl and he's like, so you thought wrong. It's like, what?
No. I like the idea of just, taking the keys and having, everybody who actually works there to start clapping, being like, you actually won. You're the first one to figure it out.
The store manager's like, we could never do this promotion again.
Oh my god.
They're like,
no,
"Not
it's like that's how they
again."
just pass off the managers. Like that's how you become the new manager.
Like that Santa Claus movie where Tim Allen, whatever, becomes Santa Claus.
Oh.
You slowly grow a mustache, and
Oh my god.
like a tie and a white shirt, and you become the store manager.
Did you ever see Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt?
Yes.
So the episode in the last season of the musical Cats, it turns out there's never been an actual musical Cats. It's just they perform and somebody from the audience just thinks they can do it too and goes on stage, and that's how you become a part of the cast.
Oh my god.
That's what I'm assuming this is. This is how you exchange managerial positions of the dollar store.
I think
It's
we
just
just-
by assuming, just being like, I'm the manager now.
We just wrote our own horror story, so that's great. all right. So, all right, let's pass on this this topic. This question's done, I think, and I think we now know how to approach the dollar store. Just steal the keys.
Stick the keys.
Or
And-
just steal in general is the lesson from
No.
this podcast.
No, that's another question. We'll do that one
Oh,
later.
no.
Okay, so I'm passing on to Ashley now, who has a really good topic for us.
Cool. So this is pretty open. The question is, what is your biggest pet peeve, and does it change between work versus life? The
Who
floor
wants
is
to go
open.
first?
No, you go ahead
I
first.
feel like I always go first.
Well, I just talked like 5 hours worth of stuff.
So my biggest pet peeve is not related to work, but I feel like as you both begin to speak, I'll realize I have more pet peeves than I thought. So my biggest pet peeve,
Not because we're talking about that becomes your pet peeve. Is
I
that
just
what
don't like when people talk to me. No. My biggest pet peeve is when you are walking on the sidewalk, especially in the city, and I think it's been amplified in the city because of the amount of tourists. But you're walking on the sidewalk, and there are people walking in front of you who decide to take up the entirety
Yes.
of the sidewalk, and you can't get around them without like loudly exclaiming, "Excuse me!" Or just straight up throwing elbows, or even more when you. I don't know if anybody else does this. I just predict what people in front of me are going to do, especially if they're on their phone. I'm like, this person's about to stop, or this person 10 feet ahead has stopped and will begin walking within 3 feet of me walking and just completely ruin my entire fast track to get wherever I was trying to go.
I'm 100% with you. And then to double on that, to add on to that, when you're going up an escalator and they stop at the top of the escalator and you're like, just like pile up. It's like, I just push by people when that happens. You're like, why did you stop at the top of an escalator? Like, figure out where you're going that whole trip up there. You're stuck on the stairs for like 30 seconds. Figure it out on your way up.
I feel like I'm not a violent person, but there are pieces of me that like my elbows go up and I don't give a fuck who you are anymore. Like, I will push you out of the way. We're in the middle of downtown. I am trying to get to this bus. I'm trying to get to wherever I'm trying to get to, and all of a sudden you and your tourist friends are just sprawling out, and it just
I think it's horrible too when people here in the city, when you go on your way to the stoplight to cross in the crosswalk, you need to be at the edge of that sidewalk ready to cross. If you're like in the middle of the sidewalk where everyone else is trying to walk past you and you're just like, where should we go for dinner? Is that the sun? Like, people doing stupid things, just standing there, and you're like, excuse me. And they see you coming towards you, and they know you're gonna have to cross that path, and just stand there like they're like, oh, my feet are in the cement, I can't move. It makes me so mad. I get rage.
I've never seen you this excited.
I get so angry. It's very true. Like, I can't handle people mismanaging their walking on sidewalks.
But it's also just a complete disrespect and this feeling of like, I own this sidewalk, everybody now has to walk around me and alter their course of action for me to do whatever I want to be doing, and this like part of the sidewalk is like, get out of my way, I'm just trying to leave, and you're now stopping me from leaving, and now you will get hurt.
When I was a kid, I used to walk around trying to claim my own space, so I'd stick my arms out.
What?
I would stick my arms. I don't know.
Like Free Willy style? Like he's about to fly over you?
Like Jack and Rose on the Titanic when they stick it leaning above the leaning over the ocean. I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was a sign of dominance I tried to do. I did this until I was like 8 or 9. But I would walk around and like if we were walking to get like in line to get water or whatever, like a drink of water after recess, I'd put my arms out so no one could pass me. I don't know what the heck I was thinking. But it worked apparently.
I want to get you a bunch of like little flags with your name on it so you could just claim pieces of land. You just like stick a flag there, like, this is my water fountain.
I had a point too where I was like, I want to get like the suspenders that hold like a hula hoop around you and be like, this is my area.
You mean like the Tweedledee Tweedledum costumes?
Kind of like that, yeah. And just be like, listen.
Play that in a play.
Yeah, this is my area. Do not get in it, you know?
When you're talking about the flags, I thought you were thinking of like an Elvis flag hanging from, like Daredevil hanging from the arm, like the shoulder to the arm.
No.
Like wings up.
You just take flight?
Like, what?
What just happened? There was no wind.
Anyway.
What did your parents say? I mean, this is an extensive period of time to walk around like that.
I think it was only for a couple of years, and I didn't walk
That's
out like that.
Long
but I didn't like
time.
walk always with my arms out like this. But still to this day, if I'm like in a crowd of people and there's people like trying to get in line ahead of me, instinctively I want to stick my arms out, and I can't help it. I don't know what the heck it is. But I've done it before in the past like year as an adult, full-grown adult. I realize I'm doing this. I'm like, what the hell? What am I doing? I don't know if it's like my days as a crossing guard in school or like what it was. I was like, don't go in front of me. This is my space in front of me. I don't know.
Interesting.
I had a very weird childhood.
Wow.
Anyway, pet peeve.
Is that your number one?
My pet peeve, I think I agree with Stephanie.
There are no others.
In terms of Like personal pet peeves, I agree with Stephanie that like sidewalk management is probably everyone.
Sidewalk management.
Yes. What about you, Ashley? What's your pet peeve? Pretty personal one.
Okay, my personal one. I think it's when I'm on the bus or like the street bus or underground muni, which is basically like a Bay Area
Subway.
bus. Yeah, it's like a subway, and it is stuffed, and people are literally body throwing their bodies into the muni. It's like, I don't want to have to feel your afternoon work grease on your body on my body.
Afternoon work grease?
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. The glisten because it starts getting humid in the muni. And the worst station, absolute worst station in San Francisco, no matter what time of day, is the freaking Castro station. They're the most aggressive station when I've stopped at any other underground muni.
Give me an example of aggression you've experienced
So
recently.
there are a ton of people who get into the underground muni from the Castro, and it's always super packed, and there's always like a few people being like, it's so rude, like, crush in there, we need to get in. It's like, where else do you want me to go in, lady? I could sit on this man's lap at this point, which I already am.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's literally the worst station, and some of the worst muni humans come from the Castro station compared to any other station.
I've had more grinding with people on muni than I have in clubs in my life.
Seriously.
Yeah.
I yelled at a guy in the morning because y'all know I'm not very conflict averse, and this guy's like being like yelling at everyone saying like, push on in, I can't in. Then he runs and jumps and throttles his body into the muni.
He threw himself into the muni?
himself into the muni, and clearly there's just a wall of human flesh because there's just everyone stuffed in there like sardines. And no one's saying anything. He's just yelling at everyone. So I yelled back and I said, hey, asshole, there's not enough room. Get the fuck off. And this was at 7 a.m. And then he, it's my classic good morning. And he finally steps off. But I was like, there's a whole bus of so many people. Why didn't the other, there's a small little Asian lady holding for her life, at this pole.
Yeah. And,
no one else said anything to him. And I was like, why not? It's not like he's going to be able to make it in. Literally, there's no room for his body.
I think, the thing is, though, on our public transportation here in San Francisco, people tend to just, let whatever happen. We've talked about this before, but they just, head down and then, move around,
But it's still a little bit different depending where you're picking up the muni or the bus from, because I understand what you're saying. I feel like that happens constantly, and most of the buses I've been on is almost kind of that reverse situation, where it's completely filled, but it's a bunch of smaller, older gentlemen or women who are like, no, I'm getting on this bus with my giant cart.
Yes.
Get out of my way. And it's everybody else like, oh no, oh god, oh god, oh god. We're not going to try to fight. We're not going to do anything. We just have to make room and just accept that we're going to hear the doors are trying to close for the next 3 minutes.
Oh yeah, but when they get on though, you don't want to make eye contact with them, because if they make eye contact with you, they're going to be headed towards you to make room. What?
They put a hex on you.
They put a hex on you. I feel like it. No, but they will they'll eye at you, move over so everyone else can move over, and you're like, ah! So you just gonna look down when you see them coming on. Yep.
It's true.
So the second question was also at work, right?
Yeah, your pet peeve at work. If y'all can't think of it, I'm going to start it off. One of my biggest pet peeves at work is when people freaking try to use the work, the company values or tenets to passively aggressively call you out on shit that's not even true. So they're like, hashtag teamwork, hashtag one team. I'm like, fuck you.
I have a feeling, Ashley, that you have a drafts folder full of emails that you've tried to write but never sent.
I already have one.
Oh, for sure.
I may have read it to friends already.
No, but actually, just remember, I do have a work pet peeve. For those who know me, I am an extremely prompt person. To me, on time is late and early is on time. So I don't mind waiting outside of a conference room for you to finish your meeting, but you dare go a minute over. I don't give a fuck who you are. I have kicked C-suite out of conference rooms
Where's the humanity?
Where's those
guys.
flags I created so we could just claim our land?
Yeah, I think we need those flags, Patricia. I think, Patricia, you need to walk down the hallways with your arms out.
I'll come behind you with our
with
flags.
the flag, and,
and
we'll
just
just hammer
While
it into the
middle of their
concrete.
meeting, just put a flag down. Be like, this is my land now.
I
And
just
put
want
it
you
in
guys
someone's laptop like it's hers now.
I'm the captain now. Listen, I want you guys to be in a crowded room with me sometimes so you see me doing the arms out thing. It's habitual. I can't help
Or
it.
do we do some sort of like Mighty Ducks formation where we're like wings up and we go behind you?
No, but I think you need to call out when you see it because I think I do it without knowing sometimes.
Even better.
I like it.
Let's see, my work pet peeve. I think I just can't stand like fake personalities at work, and I think at work because you see these people every day. You know people at work better than you know your own family sometimes, right? At least you know their
You spend more
mannerisms.
waking hours with
Yeah.
people at work than you do your own
True.
family.
Right. So I feel like I know when someone at work is being fake versus being real. So if they're in a meeting and they're like, "Whoa, it's a great day," and like I just saw them like punching the wall and cursing or whatever, I'm like, okay, you obviously have a weird way of having a great day. But I don't know. I really like when people are genuine and are genuinely really want to see you and help you have a good day as you help them have a good day. Like I really enjoy that. So anybody who's like just not themselves or not truly who they are, I think it's really hard to explain that. But
Have you experienced something recently? Is there an example you can provide?
I wish to not provide personal stories of work on this podcast.
Fair.
I mean,
Except
that's
for the
like
time.
Pretty
was-
like sweet answer though. It's like I like when people are themselves. Like
But
that's
I do,
cute.
Though. I do, and I feel like I don't know. Maybe it's because I've been doing research for like the past forever that I feel like I can read people pretty well.
Mhm.
So I feel like I can tell when they're not being themselves, and I'm just like whatever, dude. And then I usually just walk away in the middle of a meeting. You're not
leave.
yourself right now. I'm leaving, and Stephanie
taking
claims
my
this
flag.
room. I see Stephanie outside anyway. We gotta go. Get out of here soon.
We just see like the Batman symbol go into the sky, and it's like Stephanie and I know we know what to do. We bring the flags out. We get in wing formation.
Mighty Ducks,
Oh my
go.
God. If I see you guys walking my room that I'm in a meeting in like, next day with your arms out, I'm gonna just lose it.
I'm definitely gonna do that.
I don't know what it was, but yes, that was. Oh man. Anyway, enough embarrassing things about myself.
A nut. A nut.
A
A
nut.
nut, huh?
A nut's
Okay,
up
a
next.
nut.
What did you say? Schwelt? Swift?
Swift.
Swift
Swifty.
and a nut.
Swing.
Need some coffee. So next on to Steph, your question. Because I think we've had enough of pet peeves here.
Okay. So my question is very. I mean, I don't know if it's personal, but it's just like the state of life I am in. I am on so many dating apps, even though I was married off in the last episode. Yes,
Yeah,
I
I
know,
was
but
gonna say.
it's an open relationship. We've never even spoken. So no, I've been like mail ordered brided off more than married off.
I mean, in San Francisco, people are having open marriages.
open marriage.
They get married here for tax benefits only.
True. I think my husband's accepting of this. So I'm on a bunch of different dating profile or different dating sites with various profiles. You kind of tailor it per site you're on because each site is treated a little bit differently. So my question is kind of what would you, if you have a dating profile, what does it say? If you don't, what would it say? And I think it'd be funny to kind of write each other's or at least tidbits of what each other should say if we were to have one.
Hey, what if we do this where we go around and say what each other should have on, and then we can say like, here's what I would do differently.
Yeah, I mean, I could read you mine.
Yes.
If
do
that's
it.
a start, I will happily read you mine. It was actually co-written
By who? With who?
hire
by a
somebody?
friend of mine named Erin from Amazon.
Oh.
She helped me write it because even though I can be a decent writer, I have been told several times by coworkers, bosses, and therapists I'm not good at self-advocating. So I will say things that's whatever, and people will read this and be like, no, this is what it should say, and we'll kind of fix it. So here is an example of one of mine,
Okay.
which is, it goes into the whole, political, we won't go into that. I attended university, religion, if it's important, if it's not, if you smoke, if you drink, your eating habits, whatever it is, so you can kind of tailor it down.
What is
And
it
then
in
what you're
the
looking
eating
for?
habits?
Yeah.
What does
So
that
it's basically
mean?
like vegan, vegetarian.
Oh,
Like
got you,
if a vegetarian does not want to date a omnivore or whatever, like you can
Fair.
state
Got
that.
you, got you.
So things like that, just to make sure if there are very obvious deal breakers, you can kind of cut that out pretty quickly.
Right.
And so mine is like, men within 5 miles, ages 31 to 43.
Those are my only
Ooh.
limits.
Wait, is that a prescribed like age limit, or
No,
is that
you
something
can
that
you can make it
chose?
whatever you want. I don't want to date anybody under 30, and I think 10 years up is a correct amount of age difference.
Listen, can I side note on that real
Yeah.
quick? I was asked on a date by a guy who is 12 years younger than me in the past week.
Ooh, girl.
But 12 years younger than me, though,
How
is
you?
beyond my limit. My thought is either he's looking for a sugar mama or he doesn't realize how old I am.
I think it's the latter because you
You-
look really young.
Yeah, you do look very young.
Please flatter me some more.
I think it's that Japanese skincare.
I know. It's a skincare routine.
She was just telling it about us before we started recording. That's
My
why she's
skin has-
glowing. And
My skin needs a lot of work.
Your
but
skin
I'm
does
not
not
true.
need any work. Okay, anyways. So, my self-summary, which is kind of the thing you
Bring
read,
it.
of course, obviously,
Yeah, I
is,
can't wait for this.
okay, ready for it? The worse the movie, the bigger the fan I am. I especially love bad horror flicks. On the weekends, I'm always on the lookout for a good comedy show or out to dinner with friends. On weeknights, I'm hanging out with my dachshund named Brigadier and unwinding from work. And that's kind of
Aw.
all it says.
Yeah.
There have been others that have been a little bit more intense than that.
Ooh, I want to hear the more intense ones.
No,
Well, no,
let's,
like-
let's imagine what her intense ones are.
Oh,
Yeah?
I thought it'd be
Oh,
a
I
lot
wanna hear it.
weirder. Not weird. I thought there would be nuggets of just like
So
I don't
let's translate this into her Tinder profile.
Well, so that's where I get a little bit more
Ooh.
intense, and not
Yeah.
in like a good intense. I know Tinder is definitely more of the hookup-y website, and so it's almost easier. At least personally, I've left Tinder pretty much blank. But
You're like,
there are
pictures
moments,
speak for themselves.
right? There are moments where I get very, very saucy on there because I think it gets really annoying. Like, I have no qualms with people how they want to live their lives. Like, if you're open to non-monogamy, like whatever works for you.
Yeah.
But I get very, very frustrated, and this kind of goes back into previous episodes of, you make me wish I wasn't in a relationship. I get really tired of people saying, oh, well, I'm married, but I still want to see you.
Yeah.
Ew.
So I
I
have,
get tired of that too all the time.
yeah, so I put in there, like, when did non-monogamy just mean, like, cheating on your wife? Like, I get, like, really mean in there, and then I have
That's-
to tone it back.
That's
and
not mean. Stephanie, your mean is not mean.
It can get mean. I should read you the wisdom of nuggets of text messages I've had recently.
That's
I'm
another episode.
glad.
I'm
So
just
let's
I've just
see.
had it.
If I were going to change your profile for my own entertainment, I would change. I like to go home every evening with my dog, get sloshed, and I wait for you.
What?
That's how I would do it. I'd put like a little bit of a, hey baby, come on over kind of thing, you know?
But-
Ooh.
Huh.
Netflix and chill is only better.
No,
With
but like
you.
my ideal relationship would be like living with somebody but still having separate rooms. How do I convey that into a
Like
dating
my parents
profile?
did. let's live like Fred and Wilma. in
Exactly.
Flintstones. Yeah.
We're roommates with benefits and a ring.
That would
And
be a
two
great relationship.
comfortable beds.
Very comfortable.
Hey, you know what? I feel like a lot of people would be into that.
You'd be surprised there are a decent amount of people. But it doesn't mean I want to be with a bunch of other people. It just means that I'm a terrible sleeper.
Invention idea. Are there beds like that, sleep number beds though, that like will separate so they will put distance between you?
So they push away in the
Yeah.
night, and in the morning they
It's
push the
opposite
bed
sides of the
together.
Yeah.
So actually, it's like it's not even a California
it.
king; it's like a United King, like United States king, and it pushes and creates some sort of like river between the
A
bed.
river?
What was once a Cal King is now just NATO. They're just like
You
pushed
just-
all the way.
It's 2 a.m. and you feel your bed moving, and it's your lover looking at you like it's time. And you push the button back. You're like, listen, I gotta go to work early tomorrow morning. So your bed slips, like, goes back across the room again.
I mean, that sounds pretty amazing, actually.
That's a new sponsorship deal. Sorry, it was a bit confidential. I don't know. I was surprised because I thought yours would be like, let's make it weird a little bit, and not weird in like a
But kinky.
not weird in a kinky way, like weird in a awkwardly funny way.
That's usually how it goes, and I think that it doesn't work or convey itself in such a way on a dating profile as it does in person.
Because I thought you'd put something, because you definitely like movies and films, so I thought you'd put something aside from horror films, like if you like rom-coms, get the fuck out of here.
But
Like,
I do like rom-coms.
you do?
I like to make fun of them.
Oh,
I like to turn everything into like a Mystery Science Theater 3000 type of situation.
Oh, yes.
like
that's the
back
best
in
way
the
to watch
day
it.
when those aliens would review, what was it?
Yes.
But they redid it, but they still use older movies, which makes
Yeah.
zero sense to me. Had they used newer movies, I think it would have been a much bigger hit.
I see an opportunity for us, ladies.
I would be
Ooh.
so down to do that.
The problem is that they can only use those old movies because there's no licensing or no like copyright on them anymore. So that's how they get to use them.
I guess that makes sense.
But
it's
there
so
are some
annoying.
though that are like play this video while you're watching the movie, so like you hear what's happening as you watch that movie. So it's like it's almost like an director's cut, but it would be us talking instead.
The directors. Okay.
The director's
Plural.
got cut, and we took over.
I'm trying to think what else. You like food though too, so I feel.
I mean, I
like-
do like food, but that's also why I need different bedrooms.
What does that mean? Are we getting
she gets
into
the best
gastrointestinal
She gets
stuff?
sleep farts.
Sleep farts. No, was Patricia saying that? No.
What?
If you want a woman who's curious in food and has sleep farts, who likes to sleep in separate
I'm
beds,
gonna go ahead
call
and change
me
my profile
today.
to say that. No. I think because I mean, yes, I do have stomach problems, not necessarily that extreme, but I don't want to share a bed with you after, like
Farting?
destroying an entire night of hot pot.
Or maybe you do want to have meat sweats together.
No, I'm such a bad sleeper. And that has been a big problem. So
Yeah.
between the bad sleeping and the dog,
Oh, I'm
like
a good sleeper.
a terrible sleeper.
That's my dating profile.
I'm a good
I'm a
sleeper.
good sleeper.
That's terrible. What would your dating profile say?
Mine in the past have been like, give me a guy who wants to come home and play video games with me all night. That's pretty much it.
That's sweet.
That's nice.
That's like my ideal relationship is like similar to yours. Like I want to have like my independence, but I want to find a guy who can be like, let's play video games together, and I'd be like, oh, yes.
Oh,
that's
gosh.
oh, okay. Never
Wow.
mind.
It's not even new.
Anyway.
My goodness.
No, I just that's
My oh my oh my.
the thing
My,
is
oh
though.
my.
I haven't worked on video games. It's not easy to find a guy who actually just wants to come home and game with you. Like, there's guys who want to come home and game by themselves, or like a lot of guys are just like, oh, I like gaming, but they truly don't. I just want to find a guy who's like, will sit next to me at my PC, and we'll play video games together.
Is there not an app for gamers?
No, I considered making it one time, like a dating gamers.
I feel like that could be pretty profitable.
It could be, but I figure like so. People who want to find mates in gaming tend to just be guys. Very few women. Because women, I think, we kind of feel scared in this realm a little bit when it comes to, like, guys trying to hit on us. They're like, oh, it's a girl. But in reality, like, 45% of gamers are girls, so they need to figure it out and just be like, hey girl, let's be friends first. And then
Hey,
we can-
girl.
Hey, girl.
You like video games?
I do. Yes.
You're
But I
like,
think-
do you like first-person shooter games?
That's
Aggressive.
I'll
What a
shoot
pickup
this
line.
arrow through your heart. I made it less aggressive,
It's
but more creepy.
but way more creepy.
That's how I do.
No, I think that's if I don't know if I really want to get married right now, but like if I were to find somebody that I want to date towards marriage, it would be someone who lets me game with them.
Oh,
I think that's fair. I
That's
mean,
it.
I just
That's
want
like
no. That makes complete sense. I want somebody who will just like watch too much TV with me
yeah,
and be okay going to bed at like 8:30
yeah,
and waking up and
or
then
at least you going
doing
to bed
it
at
over.
8:30.
I know, going to our separate bedrooms
Yeah.
at 8:30.
You don't have to go to separate bedrooms. We've already discussed the NATO beds.
Yeah, all right. Well, I guess with the NATO
Wait,
bed.
NATO beds is what you called them?
I mean, I
Yeah.
would be willing to share a bed if there was such a thing as a NATO bed, or if we can get like two Cal Kings, put them together, so we each just get our own
That's
Cal
like
King.
a bedroom just of bed.
Yeah.
You walk into the room and it's a bed.
I'm not a cuddler. at all. I do not want to be cuddled. And
I love cuddling.
I have terrible insomnia. Like, I always think about when the other person's in the bed, how I'm going to just continuously wake them up by how much I'm moving around, because I'm never comfortable. I'm barely sleeping.
Well, do you like to be this, like, if you do cuddle and spoon, do you like to be the big spoon or little spoon?
Neither.
She's like, I like
Like,
to be
just don't touch me.
fork.
I want the fork
Oh,
and that's
yeah.
it.
She's like, I like to be the tongs in the different drawer because they're not even part of silverware.
No, like, honestly, like, no, none of it. None
All
of
right,
it.
Ashley, you are on the path to citizenship.
Citizenship.
I am a citizen. Please
Oh my
don't send
God.
ice here.
No, I was trying to be funny and be like path to marriage. So you don't need a dating app anymore.
I've never used one.
You never had to.
No, but it's very interesting to me. I have rewritten plenty of profiles for male friends and female friends. That's
Maybe
been
I should
really
have you write my
fun.
next one.
I love it. I think if I had one, it would definitely food would be a big part of it, like food adventures, like butchery classes or beekeeping, and
Will
all
you be my cheesecloth? Like
Cheese-
that?
I don't know if that would be my come on
my
line.
my fingers are your carrot sticks. Dipped
What?
in secret sauce. Like, how would you incorporate food into it?
I don't know. I would just want to be like, I'm a food adventurer. I like to eat food and I like to produce food. Yeah, I don't know. It's really important to me that someone likes to do these types of adventures. So I think I'd put in that. What else? For my photos, I would definitely want to put very unflattering photos.
I agree. And this goes back to the non-filtered thing that I said earlier. Filtered photos are terrible. It
So
needs
if
to
they
be
like
you.
you-
It needs to be you doing funny things.
Uh-huh.
If they
You need to
like
take
you
us
at your
aside.
worst, then they're gonna love you at your best.
It's not even at your worst. It's just accepting who you are. And I feel like that is very appealing. Like, if I saw a dating app of a guy who just had, like, really, like, ridiculous photos and, like, just double chins of just, like, ugly photos of himself, I'd be like, I need to meet him.
Yes,
I
this
wanna
is
look
the
at
man.
his
Hilarious.
This is the man. If
Yeah.
I see one more, like, surfing with your top off, somehow perfectly posed, or, like, cycling Mount Diablo, I was like, go fuck yourself. I don't care.
Mhm.
Nobody cares. Like, I want you to be super, super weird in your photos.
Stephanie is
also.
not gonna get a bunch of Rick requests because they're gonna listen to the pod, and that she's gonna get requests of just guys like wearing like a flannel shirt with their chest hair coming out, like yes, and their double chins coming out.
I mean,
A
that's your
double
dream.
chin brawny man.
Yeah.
Are you in my dreams?
Double chin, brawny man.
How did you know exactly what I wanted? Oh my god. But no, like, so the reason I say unfiltered, I mean, I think it's obvious when you highly contour your face or you make ridiculous adjustments to your photos, like, it's going to scare the person off when they finally meet you. And I don't know if you've watched all these ridiculous shows, but, like, I love the show Catfish. I love the show 90 Day Fiancé. Like, they're all so bad, but a lot of it is due to filtering of photos
true.
and just being straight up catfished.
So I've spoken to a lot of my guy friends about girls who wear a lot. They do the contouring, they do the concealer, and then it just like rubs off on their clothes, or they wake up the next day and they're like, who is this alien in my bed?
Oh, yeah.
Like,
I want you to see me my worst, so that way when I look good, I'd rather you clean up well than, oh no.
and now we're on an episode of Catfished.
And now we're on Catfish.
All right. Well, those are really good questions. I really think we had a fun episode. If you guys are still here, thanks for listening. And I'm assuming you're still here because it was really funny.
So funny.
So funny. So remember to
No.
come
This is
and
making fun of me.
remember to email us at hello@WTFAQpodcast.com your own questions so we can incorporate them into our listener episode coming up in a few episodes.
And I'll tell you how to find me on my dating profiles.
Yes, now you know how to find Stephanie too. if
And
you
for the
wanna-
lucky winner, they'll be able to rewrite
Rewrite my
her
profile.
dating profile.
and she'll get your face tattooed on her leg.
I may send my husband out on you, but it's okay.
But thanks for listening, guys. We'll be back next week with another new episode. So, heads up too, I think I'm going to Asia, and so we will be recording another episode a little early. But when we come back, I'm gonna bring some stuff for Stephanie to try and tell us how it tastes and feels.
It's a new session of the show, so get excited.
Oh no.
Get excited.
Get those taste buds warm, Stephanie. Oh, cold?
Ugh.
All right. Anyway, thanks for listening, guys. Episode 4 is in the books, and we will see you guys episode 5.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.